All right, let's talk about the Winners Club. So this is going to be a leadership development program, as well as kind of a tracking metric for incentives and things like that. There will be a lot of bragging rights that come with getting things checked off on this, as well as we have our weekly numbers board. So I'm going to break down both of these and why we are implementing them, why it's important. But essentially the way the Winners Club is going to work is it's going to be taken on a quarterly basis. So we are going to run through this month into the end of quarter two. So we're starting a couple of weeks early for quarter two, but all three of these levels will reset at the end of each quarter, which is, there's 4 quarters in a year, so it's a 3-month period. You can treat this like month 1, month 2, month 3, but you don't have to. You can actually get all the way through level 3 in 1 month if you choose to, which is super cool. So the way that it works is there are going to be tasks assigned on each one of these. We have everybody's name over here. If you notice, we are full up down here, which means if somebody is not on this or somebody new comes in, they actually have the opportunity to earn their way onto the board by kicking somebody else off, which means they just pass them up as far as they've completed more than somebody else that's on the board that hasn't. And so, as you can see here, we have both Tanner and Ian today had a close that went through. They had an SS that went through before noon today. So we filled out 1/2 of theirs, which means this is their 2 SSs before noon, which is level 1. They cannot start working on level 2 of the same thing, which is 3 SSs before noon, before they have filled out this level. Does that make sense? As far as before they have filled out the equivalent on level 1. The second is 2 SSs after 8 p.m. and this is local time, so it means it's for us, right? So we want to make sure that we're incentivizing people to work different hours, get in early, work late. 2 SS on a Saturday or a holiday. This is also going to count for insurance closes as well. SS will be synonymous with insurance closes. So essentially closing a deal is what that means. We've got here, this is the $1,000 check club. Basically means exactly what it sounds like, that you make $1,000 on one check, which we pay out weekly. So it means you have a check that is written for $1,000 or more. If you'll notice over here, level 2 is a $2,000, level 3 is $3,000. You cannot skip levels, which means if you have a $2,000 check that comes in, before you have a $1,000 check, you can't just jump here and fill in both. You only fill in one at a time, which means you'll have to get another $2,000 check to write it off on level 2. Service project, this is something that we used to do a lot of, and I loved it. It feeds our soul a little bit, but I want to give back to the community. I feel like we've been given a lot. We are very fortunate and very blessed, especially in today's day and age. And I found that God will only continue to give to you that which you allow to flow through you. So I want to be a river and not a reservoir. I want to pass service and blessings on, because I know that I've been served and we have been served in a lot of ways that it's amazing to be able to pass those on, and recognizing that and being grateful for it, it helps a lot. So we're going to be doing service projects at least once a month, and these will range anywhere from volunteering at a food shelter or donating food. We've done things where we've put on little tournaments that were food drives to enter. We'll do things like planting trees. We'll essentially get together and we'll have somebody that's over this as far as ideas, and we'll have the team brainstorm as well. All ideas are welcome, but essentially just getting the crew together and serving at least once a month. So that'll be our service project. Book of the month is also important. This basically means that you read the book and you put your synopsis in the Winners Club in Discord. We fill that in. A spiritual win. Now this is going to be something that's personal to you. This is going to be something that you say, hey, I had a spiritual win, right? If there are things that you need to take care of spiritually, and you go and take care of them, that's a win, right? If you have a answer to prayer, if you respond to what you feel like was a prompting, and good comes from it, that's a spiritual win. We want to make sure that people are focusing on these, because the more we focus on them, the more we're going to attract them, and it's huge. So we're going to be tracking this on a monthly basis. We want to make sure that people understand that winning spiritually is just as important as any other aspect. This can be, like I said, anything from feeling like you responded well to a prompting, to having a powerful experience while meditating or praying, or serving somebody that you just felt like needed to be served, and you had a good spiritual fulfillment on that. So like I said, that'll be personal. That's not going to be something that you're like, hey, this is what happened. If it's very personal to you, you can hold on to that. It's just going to be something that we mark off every month, and we want to be tracking. The working out 4 times a week, the way this works is each one of these squares is a week of working out for 4 times a week. Now, everybody's at different levels of physicalness, physicality, physical health, the ability to exercise, things like that. What we're going to be looking for is at least 30 minutes of something that is outside of what your normal routine is. So anything from stretching, to going for a walk, to intense exercise at the gym, to going for a run, to swimming, to riding your mountain bike, to riding dirt bikes, to running up the side of a mountain. Like, we don't care what it is. It's just that we want to be tracking at least 4 times a week. And this is going to be something that's kind of on your honor, but as well as something that we can be putting through the Winners Club as well, is, hey, I worked out today for 30 minutes, right? I worked out today for 30 minutes. I worked out today for 30 minutes. And then we have proof that, hey, yes, if there's a question, you can put, hey, yeah, I actually did work out these 4 days, or these 4 times a week. The last one on the level is going to be winning a competition. This will be anything from just a daily call out, which will be, if I was to call somebody out, I would say, hey, I'm going to beat you today. And the winner gets $5, right? As far as my numbers, I'm going to beat you today. Winner gets $5 or whatever. We'll have that, to month-long competitions, to, hold on, clearing a notification there, to just about anything as far as competition goes. We'll have Kings of the Week, we'll have throwdowns, things like that. So winning a competition, we'll have team competitions as far as we'll pit insurance team against solar team. We can have 4v4 or 3v3, and we'll have little things going on all the time like this. So winning a competition is big. Coming into level 2, it's pretty much just more of the same, just ups to 3 SS's, $2,000 check club, completing the service project, book of the month, spiritual win, working out 4 times a week, winning a competition. The biggest difference on this one is just that you have a recruit that gets an AC. Which is important. A big part of our business, especially now, is going to be expanding. We're going to outgrow the space that we're in very quickly, just at the rate that we're going. But we want to make sure that we are getting this going. So that people are recruiting, that people understand that it is a business that people can change their lives in. Same thing, level 3 is going to be more of the same, just on 4, and then we have the $3,000 check club. Coming over here, biggest difference is going to be either training in a meeting or planning an office activity. That could be a recruiting activity, that could be a service project, that could be anything that we want. That could be an incentive for winning a competition, but essentially that you're taking initiative to roll out an activity for the office, or for people in the office that can get together. So that's it on the Winners Club. Weekly numbers, we've kind of dove into this. This is awesome because this is as bad as we're ever going to be. This is tracking, we're going to be tracking this on at least a 3 times a week metric. and it'll reset weekly. The biggest thing that we want to make sure that we're tracking is that we understand how many dials turns into how many closes. We have had, a fair amount of failed credits and things like that this week, but they don't count. So this basically says, hey, how many dials do I have to make to get a close, right? Currently we have Tanner has gotten a close. Took him 74 dials, turned into 8 ACs, and that's resulted in 1 close so far. I know he has more coming up. Same thing, Ian has been doing really, really well. But what's cool is that it has been a wake-up call for just about everybody, myself included, on where we can improve as far as looking at, hey, now that we are tracking this, we can improve upon it, because if we don't track things, it's very hard to improve upon ourselves. So this will be something that we track week over week. The way that it'll work is it'll be through the week, and then the numbers that we post on or put on this board on Monday will be the ones for the previous week, and then we'll reset them on Wednesday for what's happening that current week. And then again, we'll up them again on Friday, and then Monday will be, hey, how was last week, is kind of the way that that'll work. So any questions on this, we will, you can reach out to me. You can post a comment below in the video. This is YouTube. We've already talked about some things. There's other videos about how we are going to improve these numbers, which is cool. But now that we have got them on here, this is going to be something that we track, like I said, week over week. Yeah, Winners Club is awesome. I'm excited for the incentives that are coming out on this. There will be some fun things that we do as far as, huge trips, winning swag, things like that. So we'll go from there. But yeah, Winners Club it up.